Hey guys, my name's Kevin. In today's lesson, we are going to talk about major seventh chords. That dreamy sounding progression that I was playing at the beginning of the video was comprised of a couple of major seventh chords and a finger picking pattern. And today I'm going to show you how to do that yourself. So we're going to take a look at some different chord shapes, and then we're also going to spend some time playing together at the end using a strumming and finger picking pattern. So this is going to be pretty cool. I hope you guys are excited about it because I'm excited to share with you. Let's get started. Hey, before we get too dreamy, if you wouldn't mind doing me a little favor, click that alert bell so you know when the next video is coming your way. And please, if you like the videos, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends. Let them know about this cool uke community that we have together here at All for Uke. All right, as you can tell, I really love major seventh chords. So let's check these out here. So I'm going to show you a couple of different options that you have for playing major seventh chords here. So I'll give you some of the common shapes. The first one will be a single finger. So to play the C major 7 chord, you know you always play your C chord here on the 3rd fret on the A string. Well, to make that a major 7th chord, all we do is we scoot down here to the 2nd fret and we play everything exactly the same with the open strings. So we're just holding, I like to either use my middle finger or my ring finger. Probably more suited to use your middle finger here for this chord. So that sounds like this when you play it. So listen to the difference between this and the regular C chord. And then C major 7. And then listen to what a C dominant 7 sounds like, your standard C7. So you can hear the difference here between this major 7 and a dominant 7. The major 7 kind of has that more dreamy quality to it, and that's what the major 7 is supposed to do. It's supposed to kind of have that kind of bright, uplifting, dreamy kind of feel to it, and that's what just a change of one note can do here for you. So our first one, C major 7. Now, a 2-finger major 7 chord here. This one's really cool. I like to use this one in the prettiest ukulele song in the world. This is an A major 7. So the A major 7, I play with my index on the G string 1st fret and my middle on the C string of the 1st fret, and that sounds like this. So again, nice really dreamy quality to it. Listen to the difference between this A major 7 and if I were to pull my index finger off of the top string and just keep my middle finger down and it becomes an A7. There's your A dominant 7 or just standard A7, and here's A major 7. So nice. If you're working within the key of A or the key of E, the A major 7 chord could come in handy for you. And I will mention too that using these chords is something that you're going to do by substituting this major 7 chord for your standard major chord. It doesn't always work, but when we get into these chord progressions later, we'll dive into this a little bit more. So far we have the C major 7 shape, the A major 7 shape. Now, we're going to go to a 3-finger shape here, which is going to be used for G major 7. So I'll give you the option here. We can either do this with a bar or we can do it with 3 fingers. So I'll give you the option. We can either do index, middle, and ring finger here on the C, E, and A strings of the 2nd fret. It sounds like this. I prefer to play this with my index finger, just barring these bottom 3 strings. I think that's a little easier to get to, but I'll leave that option up to you. You can either go with the 3-finger version here. You could also use middle, ring, and pinky if that worked better for you. And again, sometimes this is going to be a situational decision. Depending on what chord comes before or after this chord will dictate whether you play it maybe with a single finger or 3 fingers. So that is the G major 7 shape here. Another 3-finger shape we can use for a major 7 is the E major 7. Now, E has this kind of interesting, unorthodox shape that we put our hand in this kind of weird, like, claw thing when we play it. So the E major 7 is played which really sounds nice, but we have our index finger on the first fret on the G string, our middle finger on the A string on the second fret, and our ring finger on the C string on the third fret, and this sounds really cool. And again, if you're playing something in the key of E, you could use this E major 7 chord. Just kind of gives it that nice dreamy quality to it. So maybe you're trying to compose your own music and you're kind of looking for that elusive chord just to kind of bring some more intrigue to what you're writing. Major 7th chords are kind of a cool way of doing that. So you can again try to substitute these in for some of your major chords. It might not always work, but that's part of the process of learning how to do this, is kind of experimenting, a little trial and error. Sometimes the major 7 chord works, sometimes it doesn't quite fit, but that's kind of part of the process. So one more here for you that I'm going to show you is the D major 7. So the D major 7 chord, and if you watched my video about movable chord shapes here, you know that we play a D chord here by barring the 2nd fret and putting our pinky out here on the 5th fret of the A string. To make that into the major 7 shape, we actually just take and put our ring finger down on the 4th fret of the A string, so that sounds like this. And where that comes from is actually from our C major 7. So if we just took our C major 7 on the 2nd fret and moved that up 2 frets and put the bar down on the 2nd fret, now we have a D major 7. So D major 7 goes nicely with A major 7. It also goes nicely with E major 7. So if you're looking for a couple to try to put together, and we might do that right after this, you could try putting together the A major 7, the D major 7, and the E major 7 into a sequence, and you kind of have a little chord progression to start working your way around with. So those are the different major 7 shapes that we have available to us. So now I've put together a couple of chord progressions using these shapes, and we're going to start off by doing a strumming pattern with them, and then I'm going to show you a little finger picking pattern to really bring the level of dreaminess to new heights, to which we've never seen before. So let's get to it. All right, so let's put these into practice now. So I put together a chord progression, nice and simple. We're going to use the C major 7 chord and the G major 7 chord. And the strumming pattern that we're going to use for this one is a waltz strum. So I do have an entire series on strumming if you want to check that out, which this video is within that, if you want to check out the waltz strum. So that pattern is down, down, up, down, up. So we count that 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and. So we'll do that strumming pattern twice per chord, and we're just going to go back and forth kind of nice and slow here, just to kind of work on incorporating these major 7th chords here. So I'll give you the option. You can either bar the G major 7 chord, or you can do the 3-finger version here. I'll do a couple of each to show you. So let's just do this together. I'll give us a 3 count in. Just kind of go back and forth, relax. You're playing some dreamy chords. I'm wearing a kind of dreamy shirt, kind of have dreamy hair. I don't know. How many times can I say dreamy? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and switch. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and switch. One more time. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2. So something new for you guys here. We're going to check out a finger picking pattern with this, so you can hear the difference between what these two chords sound like when you strum them or you arpeggiate them by finger picking them. So it's going to be pretty cool here. So the finger picking pattern we'll use for the C major 7 and G major 7 is going to be thumb on the C string, index on the E string, and then thumb on the G string, middle on the A string. So this is called the Travis picking pattern. You're also going to want to put your pinky on the body of the uke before you do this and keep your hand kind of nice and stable here on the body of the instrument. I do have an entire series on fingerpicking for standard tuning and baritone. I'll leave a link in the description for you to check that out if you really want to dive into some fingerpicking stuff. But we're going to do 4 times through the fingerpicking pattern on each chord. So let me just demonstrate this for you really quick and then we will go into it. So it'll sound like this. 3, 4. Nice and even. You want all of your finger picking strokes to all be the same level in volume as we do this here. So this will be something new for you to work on here. And you're playing major 7th chords, so the dream factor is just at an all-time high. So here we go again. We're going to go 4 times on C major 7, 4 times on G major 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. And switch. And switch. And switch. Let's do this one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and switch. 3, 4. Well, I hope you guys had fun learning about major 7th chords. These are some of my favorite chords to incorporate when I want to make things sound a little bit more dreamy and majestic. And I hope that you find this valuable and you can incorporate this into some of your chord progressions. If you have chord progressions that you have come up with, please share them in the comments below. We love hearing from you guys, and I really appreciate your support. My name's Kevin. Until next time, thanks so much for joining me. Take care, guys.